Page 26, Silver Bells. Let's look it over. It's 2 pages long. Treble bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major. If you're doing the scales, do the scale for C major. The instructions are in the videos. 3/4 time signature, one hand at a time. That stuff's starting to get a little tricky. Right hand starts 5th finger here, then puts the hand here. Except if you look in the first full measure, you have an E. So instead of here, I gotta be here. So the hand is actually here. Remember, in a 5-finger position, the outside fingers might have to cover 2 notes, and that's what we're doing here. So it's 3 and 1, 3 and 1 and 2 and. Reach up and claps. I changed hand position. 4. I'm just walking around on the keyboard, and then I got a bunch of rest to come back up. Okay. I'm kind of walking around a little bit. Let's go to measure 21. 2 notes here. Do what you can to get those down at the same time. Now, measure 25, they want you to come down. I'd rather feel my way around the keyboard. So I don't really want to go from here to here. They don't tell you what finger to use. Or whatever. I want to prepare for measure 25. Now in measure 24 and so, I'm just hanging on to that G. So while I'm holding it down, I'm going to put 3rd finger on it. It's called a finger substitution. But I changed hand position. This way, I'm ready for the measure 25. Here. And then I got to go up. Well, what am I going to do there? Well, again, at measure 25 and 26, I'm holding that down. I just put thumb on it. I just go back to where I was. No. Here. Now, the last 3 measures at the bottom were here. Here. I'm out of position. So, on the 8th notes, rather than 2nd, I'm going to scrunch up and use thumb. That way I'll change from this position to this position. I got enough fingers. Here. Here. Oh, and I missed it before on measure 18 also. Put thumb on that. Do a finger substitution there so you're in position. I'm always looking ahead in the music to see what's coming, so to make sure I'm ready for it. So I can adjust before I get there. Left hand, well, just here. 2, scrunch up. I use 2nd finger on the B flat. You can use thumb if you want. I just don't like being up in here. And then if you use 2nd, then 4. Yeah. You adjust your finger to the size of your hands, and I don't know how big your hands are. So again, here, then I do a 5-2. You can do a 5-1 if you want. And then I do a 4-1, and then a 3, and then a 4. So I'm kind of looking ahead to see what's coming, to what I need to be in position. So at measure 4, I don't want to do this. I can, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to be up here. So to avoid that, I just scratch up and use 4, then 3, 2. Then to measure 7, 2 voices. Hold the bottom note down. There. 1, 2, 3. Now measure 8. There. Or I can do 3. Just to prepare for this in measure 8. So I kind of move on. Then. Now, measure 11. You can do that here. But measure 10, if you don't want to be here, you got to use that. Then I'm doing a 2 and then a 5-3. It's saying 4-2, but if I use 2nd finger here, I can do a 5-3. If you use thumb here, you can do 4-2. I don't know how big your hands are. And then for measure 17, if you do 4, you can do 3-1 here, except you can't connect the notes. But if I do here, then I can do a 4-1, and then I can do a 3-2-1. I'm connecting all these notes with the fingers. If you go with the marking in the book, here, you can't do that. Now what do? I can slide off. It's tricky. Do it the way your teacher tells you to do it, but figure out a fingering that allows you to connect the notes. And measure 21, Do it here, 3 here, and then 4-2. And then for measure 24, I recommend a 1-2. That's repeated. This way you're in position for measure 25. Okay. At the last line at the bottom, it's here, measure 29. And they sang a 1-3. So I do a 4-2, 3-1, and then go ahead and do 2-4 here. So you're in position. And the last measure, you get treble clefs. You got to come up here. Okay. Well, I'll put the hands together. It's a little tricky. And I'll hesitate at first. I don't care. It's just here. I want an idea of how they fit. Here. Hold the half note down. Anyway, I go through the whole thing and try and figure out how the hands are working together. And I'll hesitate, that's fine, I don't care. I just want to know how the hands are working together. And once I've done that, then I'll go back over it maybe a line at a time, slowly. And I'll work out the hesitation. Steady beat. 1, 2. Just slowly all the way through with a steady beat, no hesitations. And if you find 1 or 2 spots where you're hesitating, then focus on those spots. Don't keep playing at all. Just play those spots and work it out. Then you can play it all after you work out the hard parts. Once the hesitations are gone, then I think about the articulation. They don't give us any. This is pretty connected, but you can lift up for the phrasing, and you can follow the words if you want. Follow the phrasing, the commas and so forth to lift up if you want. You don't have to. Yeah, I mean, you can connect them if you want. And then lift up for the periods. Yeah, it's personal. How do you choose to interpret it? Of course, do it the way your teacher tells you to. Then once the articulation is in, then I add the dynamics, and that goes to the melody. MF is mezzo forte, which is sort of loud, sort of heavy. This other, light, soft. So melody's going back and forth, you work it out. So bring out the melody wherever it is, and everything else is in the background. Now, you don't have to do the whole thing and moderately loud. You can get louder and softer as you feel it, like a measure 3 and 4. That's ending a phrase. I come down a little, and then go back up. Come down. Come down at the end of a phrase. It's shaping a phrase. It's how you feel it. Once you're past all the mechanics and you got everything working well, and you can get in and where you can feel the music, if you feel like getting a little louder, softer, go with it. It does get loud at the end. Heavy. And then the last measure is very, very quiet, both hands. There's no melody here. And the fermatas, you just hold those out as long as it feels right. There's no set time. If I do it with a metronome, I'll just double them and hold them 2 counts instead of 1. But otherwise, you just feel it. Yeah. Because there is a retardando there. And then the third to the last measure, which brings us to the speed. After the dynamics, I do the speed. Sweetly is not a speed, it's a mood. But a lot of times in music, they don't give you a speed. They give you the mood. And you get to decide how fast you want to be that mood. This is sweet. 1, 2, 3, it's somewhere in there. Yeah. I tend to play it quicker when I'm talking about it because it shortens the video a little bit. But gentle. It says bell-like at the end. My opinion, if you really wanted bell-like, rather than playing it here, go up here. Just go up a higher. Play it up here. That sounds more bell-like to me. Yeah, it's just interpretation. It doesn't tell you to go up, but I think if they want it bell-like, it makes sense to go up here. Oh, remember the natural accents? And 3/4 time is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Feel these. I'm exaggerating so you can hear them better, but you want to feel these. When you play a piece, the listener, the first note they hear, they think that's the first beat of the measure. That's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's off. And then it sounds weird because something's wrong. And finally they'll figure out, oh, that's not the first beat of the measure. But if you'll make sure you go to here, feel that. You just feel that natural accent, they'll pick up on it, the people listening. Now, once you can play this slowly with no hesitations, let's play it together and check that you have the correct notes and rhythms. I'm not doing louds and softs. We're not performing it, so I'm not bringing out the melody. I'm just playing the notes. You should play the same note I play when I play it. I'll give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. Ready and go and.